every time I turn around, there's something new happening here. And here she is. This is Carolyn Altman. Give her a round of applause. And Carolyn, you're not a Lithgow girl. Well, you are a Lithgow girl, but you didn't start out as a Lithgow, did you?
No, I grew up in western suburbs of Sydney, in Schofield.
Schofield. Anyone else here from Schofield by any chance? I didn't think so. How was it that you came to get from Schofields to Lithgow?
My husband's a Baptist minister, and so we've come up here to the church.
So he's Ian, right?
Yes.
Now, when you met Ian, was he a Baptist minister?
No, he was not. No.
So, and you got married on the basis that he wasn't a Baptist minister?
Yes, I say that he tricked me into marrying him. I married what I thought was a signalman in the railway, earning a lot of money, and I thought I was marrying a rich man.
Oh, okay, so on the signalman. Do you know, next week there's the big railway weekend, just up the mountain here, Mount Victoria. So you've got to go. So hi to all the signalmen. You said to him, I'll marry you as long as you're never a Baptist minister.
Yeah, really, yes. And so God had other ideas, and we'd only been married a couple of years, and he quit his job and went to Bible college, and the rest is history.
It is. Well, God's clearly very important in your family, but God has helped you through some pretty difficult times recently. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I will.
Carolyn Altman.
Thank you very much. 13 is a very significant number to me. I lived in 13 Station Street, Schofields, until the day I got married on the 13th of October 1990. I had my first baby on the 13th of February 1996, and on the night of the 13th of June 2003, I found a lump in my left breast that turned out to be breast cancer. And it's my breast cancer journey that I'd like to share a bit with you this afternoon, which is the 13th of May 2012. And I was only 34, and my daughter Melina was 7, and my son Bryce was only 5. And 8 days after finding the lump, I was in the surgeon's office with my husband, and he said those dreaded words that you never want to hear. He said, well, there's no doubt about it, you've got breast cancer. And somehow Ian and I made it back to our car, and we just held each other and we cried. This was not in our plans. But after a while, I just felt an incredible peace come over me. And I said to him, I don't know why this is happening to us, but for some reason it is. But I do feel that it's going to be all right in the end. And I can only explain it to you as an incredible peace that came from God. And when we went home, I started flicking through my Bible, and I found a verse that was underlined from the book of Isaiah. And it said, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And you know, that verse became my verse, and I held on so tightly to it. I can remember being wheeled into theatre to have my first operation, which was a lumpectomy and the lymph nodes removed from underneath my arm. And as they were wheeling me into theatre, I just kept saying the words over and over again. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And a week after my surgery, we needed to go and have a checkup with the surgeon. And he said, well, we've got the pathology results from your breast cancer. And I really didn't understand anything about that or the significance of it. So I just sort of shrugged and said, yeah, so. And he told me that my cancer was grade 3, which meant it was the most aggressive, fastest growing cancer there was. It had spread to my lymph nodes, which meant it could have gone anywhere throughout my body, through my bloodstream. And that meant that I'd have to go through 3 months of chemotherapy, followed by 6 weeks of radiation, followed by another 3 months of chemotherapy with a stronger drug. And then he said the words that I really did not cope with as a 34-year-old woman. They hadn't been able to get all the cancer with the lumpectomy, so I'd have to go back into surgery and have my whole breast removed. I really didn't sleep much that night, and so I remember I got up out of bed about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I really yelled at God. I remember, saying to him, I've been such a great witness for you. I've been telling everyone, yes, I've got breast cancer, but God's my strength. He's going to get me through it. Everything's going to be all right in the end. But here was the doctor telling me that he really didn't know whether it was going to be all right in the end. And I felt that God had let me down. But as I had my big rant and rave at God, I felt him saying to me, go find your journal and have a read through that. I'd been keeping a journal since I discovered my lung. And as I started flicking through the pages, I came to an entry that was dated 2 days before I'd gone into surgery. And I'd like to read to you the words that were written there. It said, I feel God is saying that no matter what news I receive, I must believe that I will not die from this, that I will be totally healed. I still need to go through the operation, chemo, radiation, etc., but I will be fully healed. I will not die from this. I must trust God in this, no matter what news is told to me. I can't ever remember writing those words, but there they were, in black and white, in my handwriting. And I had a choice to make that night, to either keep being angry at God and turn my back on him and say, you've let me down, I don't want anything more to do with you. Or I could choose to trust that those words were from him and that he would heal me and he would give me the strength to get through what I had to go through. And I chose to trust in him. And I'd love to stand here this afternoon and say that just because I chose to trust in him, everything went perfectly. But it didn't. I still had to have my breast removed, and I miss that every day. I had to go through chemo, and I lost all my hair, and it made me very sick and very tired. Then I had radiation, and it burnt my skin so badly that it all fell off in clumps, and that was really painful. And then I had to go through more chemo again. On top of that, because we planned our financial future with me, I'd been working full-time as a business and operations manager with NRMA Insurance, and I just couldn't do that job anymore. So to top it all off, we had to hand both our properties back to the bank. But in spite of all those things that happened, God kept his promise to me from Isaiah, from my verse. He was with me. He did strengthen me. And when I didn't have the strength to stand myself, he upheld me with his righteous right hand. And I can stand here before you this afternoon, nearly 9 years on, cancer-free. And in amongst those hard times, there's also been some great times as well. This week, God willing, we'll sign building contracts so that around Christmas time, we'll be moving into our own home. More importantly, my daughter Marina is now 16. And I was able to go with her and buy her Year 10 formal outfit and see her in it. And my son Bryce is now 14, and I've been here to see him grow taller than me and now taller than his dad. And that means so much to me as mother. God has given me great times to celebrate, but he's also really helped me through those very hard times. And God wants to do the exact same thing for you. Every single one of us that are here today will face hard times in life. I can guarantee that. And it may be like me with sickness and financial hardship and loss of a job, or it could be relationship breakdown, or even the death of a loved one. Hard times are going to happen to us. and I've learnt that life is full of both great times and very hard times. But God wants to be in a relationship with you, and He wants to be walking with you through the good times and carrying you through the hard. All you need to do is ask. Thank you.
Carolyn, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And you can see that in Carolyn's life, how real God is to her, even in the darkest and most difficult times. You know, this has been a wonderful weekend here.